Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Member Spotlight by Allied Muslim Chamber of Business. MCOB is a membership-based social enterprise with a mission to create a thriving Muslim business community. It's the power of collective wisdom, continued learning, and thought leadership brought together for Muslims by Muslims. Our core belief is that business leaders thrive when they have access to a supportive community of peers who challenge and inspire each other. Today, we have with us our member, Rima Nashashibi. Rima is a top producing executive in the insurance industry with deep expertise in medical malpractice insurance. Beyond her professional accomplishments, Rima is an internationally recognized speaker and community leader with more than 20 years of experience in public speaking, seminars, and media appearances. She is deeply passionate about advocating for social justice and ending child marriage, human trafficking, and other forms of gender based violence. Through her advocacy work, Rima continues to inspire action, raise awareness, and drive meaningful change through leadership, education, and advocacy. Welcome, Rima.
Thank you. I'm going to use that introduction from now on. It's great. Thank you, Kashif. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum. Thank you for being here, and would love to learn more about how your journey started.
Yes, I came to this country back in 1980. I hope that doesn't date me, and hopefully everybody doesn't do the math. But anyway, but I immediately got involved in the political arena and through the Democratic Party, and I was working for AIG at the time, which is the largest insurance company in the world. I managed divisions for them, and I worked there for 20 years. Then I went into the brokerage business, and then I started my nonprofit, Global Hope 365. And as you mentioned, it's to end harmful practices towards women and girls, such as child marriage, human trafficking, and other forms of gender based violence. Because people think that when you say child marriage, and I was one of them, that it's not legal in the US. To my surprise, I found out it was legal in the US. And when we first started in 2019, it was still legal in 48 out of the 50 states. Uh, and then right now, it's still legal in 34 states because everybody would say, when I ask them before speaking, when I say, where do you think child marriage happens? They'll say India and the Middle East and Muslim countries. And then I'd say, do you think it's legal in the US? And they'll say, no, of course not. Then I had to educate them that not only is it legal, it was legal in 48, but now 34 states. And so in addition to, of course, human trafficking and other forms of gender-based violence.
All right. So there's definitely, you mentioned that there is a deep personal connection with the cause that you
Mhm.
have the organization Global Hope running. So can you share some stats around it in the US? What is it today?
Yes, absolutely. So as far as child marriage, um, research indicated that there have been 300,000 minors that were married in the US between 2000 and 2018, and mostly young girls married to adult men. 60 of those would have been sex crime or statutory rape because of the age differential, 60,000 of those. And in 4 states, including California, there is zero minimum age. All what you need in California is parental consent and judicial approval. And I hope nobody tries to do that in California. Uh,
So that's
so,
the case.
but that is legally the case. And when we had a discussion with survivors, they indicated to us that nobody has asked them if they were coerced into marriage or not, although they've seen the age differential.
Mhm.
So that was quite a negative surprise. And as far as human trafficking, um, there's around 400,000 in the US. There's 25 million globally. And there's around 400,000 in the US, but that's the tip of the iceberg because there are the cases that were reported to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, law enforcement, or organizations such as in Orange County Waymakers, where you can also report human trafficking claims. And so unfortunately, the trends have been going in the wrong direction in Orange County because the last report, which is 2025 by the Orange County Human Trafficking Task Force, indicated that the percentage of minors to the total number of victims have gone up from 36 to 50%.
Wow.
So, which is not good, and that's mainly due to what we call sextortion, which starts with somebody sending nude pictures of themselves, and then they get extorted financially, or put into sex trafficking, or both. And so that's why we're in the prevention side. We do not provide services to survivors. However, we do manage cases that come through our community, the Muslim community. We had a case of a labor trafficking victim in Northern California, a case of another labor trafficking victim, which is domestic servitude in LA County, that
Okay.
was referred to the deputy DA and they opened an investigation. And then we had a domestic violence case, a very nasty case out of San Diego County, and we handled that. Yeah. So far, two of the cases have ended successfully and they're on their way to recovery and being independent and an active member of society. The last one is still ongoing. Unfortunately, yes, which is the domestic servitude case. Our community doesn't think that these things apply to us, but they do happen in our community, and we need to raise awareness about them. So, what we do is that I go into colleges, schools, colleges, and universities, and I say, here are the facts. We have two presentations, one for adults, parents, and guardians, and
Mhm.
one for teens and young adults. For the parents and guardians, we say, here are the facts, here's the red flags, somebody may be trafficked. And for the teens in schools, we say, here's the facts, here's the red flags, don't become a victim. And so uh, just last Monday, we received an award from the city of Irvine here in California because of the work that we do to prevent, to raise awareness and prevent human trafficking. And I asked them then, after they gave me the award, of course, whether they will help us to get into the Irvine School District and talk about sextortion and all that because of the increase from 36 to 50%, that we need to address it right away. And this is not just Orange County, because the FBI have indicated that on average, sextortion went up to 40%. Because these days, everybody, young teens and everyone is on the phone
Mhm.
and they have access to smartphones because we need them to be safe. We need to be able to connect with our kids immediately. And so we just need to take the time as parents and explain the dangers of what may happen online. And that's why they need to be careful.
Okay. So, in terms of Global Hope, that the organization that you run, what other services other than the creating the awareness? What other services you are providing?
So, in addition to speaking at schools, colleges, universities, interfaith groups, Rotary Club, Kiwanis, and all that, we also provide training for the healthcare industry, basically the emergency room departments and satellite clinics. On my board is a professor from the Keck School of Medicine at USC, Dr. Melissa Withers, and she does training for emergency room departments on how to identify victims of human trafficking sooner, because research indicates that um, survivors seek medical treatment 8 to 9 times before they exit the life. So a contact of mine got us into Hoag Hospital. She did the training and they asked her to come again. We've done the training at 20 hospitals. And I know a lot of our Muslim communities are either physicians or on the board of hospitals, and also owners of healthcare providers. And so it'll be great if we can provide that same, um, the same, raising awareness among their staff and their members about human trafficking.
Okay.
And I
All
would love for that to happen also for Shura councils all over the states, because we could do that by Zoom or in person. The other thing we have is that we encourage young teens to establish Global Hope 365 uh, clubs on campus, and they could do peer to peer training, because teens and young adults will take it from somebody their own age better than they would take it from someone our age. So not only do we provide them with the expertise, but the leadership training in order for them to establish that club and do the training themselves.
right.
We also have an ambassador program for adults, for parents, and we also have an ambassador program for young adults. And we have an annual activity, which is an annual walk run to end child marriage under 18, no exception. And usually that's in Irvine, and it's co hosted and co sponsors by the mayor of Irvine and a good number of their city council members.
Okay. Your operations right now, are they predominantly in Orange County, or you are outside of that area as well?
We are outside, thank you for that question. We're outside of Orange County as well, because this is a national movement. So, for example, I will testify at other states to increase the minimum age from whatever it is to 18, no exceptions. We were very privileged to testify in Rhode Island and New York, where they enacted laws to end child marriage under 18, no exceptions. We testified in Alaska, for example, where we were able to raise the minimum age from 14 to 16. We support also legislation on the federal level to make digital platform more secure for our young adults, for our kids and young adults, so they're safe on these digital platforms, and hold the platforms accountable, especially now with AI and deep fakes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much easier for someone to use someone's face, especially kids in school, to use someone's face and create a deep fake about them. And so that's what we do. So it's and we also support initiative on a global level.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we were involved in Nepal because they have a practice called chaupadi, and which means if a girl or a woman had her period, they put them in a cowshed with the animals, because they think something's bad's going to happen if they're in the house. And that's happening in Nepal and some parts of India. And so we're trying to work with the organization on the ground there who's trying to end it. And also in other programs, educational programs that empower women in various parts of the world.
All right. The work that you are doing is very emotionally heavy. How do you keep going? What values or beliefs that keep you going?
Right. I walk a lot. So I love hiking. I love walking. So um, we're in a here safe community. So sometimes, like yesterday, I went walking at 10 and 11 at night because I needed to get out of that because I was working late. So I walk and I hike and I spend time with friends, because sometimes when you're with friends, you forget that heavy topic that you're working on, and you're just enjoying
Yeah.
each other's company, and also your faith helps you with that, because I think we're all doing what we can do to make this life, this world, a better place for everyone. So faith has a great part of it.
Mm. What's the future that you see through the work that you are doing? That what is gonna change in the near future?
So I don't have a crystal ball, but if we all got together and we advocated for change to make this world a better place, then we could do it. Like Rima on her own cannot do it. Rima and Kashif cannot do it, even just the two of us. But if we have a community, if we have an ummah, if we have a village, then we can advocate for change. We can have legislation, advocate for legislation that's going to make it safer for kids online. But it has to take all of us speaking in one voice with elected officials. So that's one part on the advocacy, but it also going to take all of us to help give us access to communities in order to raise awareness, to say, here's the facts, please don't become a victim. Here's the red flags, please don't become a victim. So if we can help each other by making sure that we raise awareness among larger, our own community, our own ummah, and the larger community or the community at large, then we can make sure that this world is a better place, and we hold our elected officials accountable if they're not helping us pass such legislation to protect our kids, because we need to get involved. My favorite saying is that if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. So we need to be at the table and we need to make our voices heard in order to affect change.
All right. No, may Allah bless you and put more barakah in the work that you are doing. This is definitely God's work that you are doing in order to bring more light into these children who are being manipulated.
Thank you.
And it's for our listeners, like if you can provide some tips, like how they can actively participate in achieving your mission of the organization. What can
Yes,
they?
they can go on the website, which is globalhope365.org, and there's ways to get involved. You can also get educated on the topic. For example, child marriage. Um, we have statistics that are global, national, and then statewide. So, globally, for example, 850 million girls and women that are alive today were married under the age of 18, and 12 million girls get married on an annual basis under the age of 18. And so you first get educated, and there's different ways to get involved. You can help us pass. I know our Muslim community is very active with elected officials and they know them personally. We're trying to pass a resolution in various cities and counties, and not just in California, that says no child marriage under 18, no exception. So we'd love for you to participate with us in that. And you could do it through the website, or you can send an email to me, Rima, R-I-M-A, at globalhope365.org, and say, I can help you pass this resolution in this city or in this county. And so we have people trying to do it in Texas, we have people trying to do it in Northern California, and we have people trying to do it in other states that haven't passed that legislation. The other thing, they can get educated on human trafficking, and there's two things that we're trying to do is uh, hold both the buyer and the trafficker accountable. I know these discussions are very difficult for people to hear, but we have to hold the buyers and the traffickers accountable because it's economics. If the buyers are not there, there's no need for the supply, right? So it's demand and the supply. There's no demand, there's no need for the supply. If somebody is not greedy, if somebody brings in someone from who's a Muslim just like them from another country and promise them to pay them 2,500 a month to be a maid or a servant in their home, and as soon as they get here, they confiscate their cell phone and their passport, and they don't pay anything. That's human trafficking. That's a crime, and you can be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So we need to raise awareness about these practices that I'm sure is not culturally acceptable, but it's a crime here also. And so people can help through the website, or as I mentioned, they can contact me directly. As far as the insurance agency is concerned, Select First Insurance Services, we provide insurance, basically what we call in the industry P&C, property and casualty. So we provide insurance, all types of insurance to businesses like workers' comp, general liability, commercial auto. We're very competitive in medical malpractice, but we also um, uh, competitive in addiction facilities, and we insure all kinds of businesses. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. No, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing about the work that you are doing both on the insurance side and in the nonprofit world. May Allah bless you with more and provide you all the resources that you need in order to help more people.
Inshallah. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to highlight the work that we do. I'm really grateful and appreciate this opportunity, Kasha.
Yeah, thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.